Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. This is Mami Joanna Bati again. The sole purpose of this video is really for knowledge sharing once again, and how we cope and how we survive with the situation that we have right now. And in fact, we have a number of cases. Actually, our province right now is in the highest number of COVID cases. So how do we survive? It's really kind of scary, um, however, in our place is not placed in the ECQ level. We are under the GCQ level. So how are we going to cope with the situation we're in? It's just, we are in the same island. Okay, so again, I'd like to state that I'm not really an expert in terms of medical, or an expert in crisis management, but this is just how I lead our household and how we again survive. Okay, so there are 4 areas that I analyze in order for us to survive the situation right now. So I call it TIME, with the acronym TIME. T stands for time. So in this area, is we all know that the longer you are outside, the higher is the probability of getting the virus. So how do we cope with that situation? One, we avail, it could be option like we avail the order and pick up, or online grocery. And another tip for that one is, because we do it in a weekly basis, unlike before, it's like we do our grocery mostly bulk, it's twice a month. We do now is on a weekly basis, so not to expose our rider, or the guy or the lady who will do grocery for us in a short period of time, because you have to consider the area under exposure as well. So we are already in a way delegating the risk, quote unquote, pardon for the lack of term. So I always make sure that it's just the essential list. So I do it on a weekly basis. And another discovery that or a lessons learned probably is, and I do inventory, and there are times, I have other tasks at home also, that I forget certain items. So I write it down. Like, I don't have to wait for a day, wherein I usually schedule it like once a week, and I write the items that I want them to buy. But right now, I just write down. If I notice that, I just write down and review it. So instead of like sitting down one day and write all the grocery items, right now what I do is, if I see, then I just write, and then allocate time or day to review it and give it to the guys. Next, in the area of I stands for incorporate government protocols into our households. In our case, it's like this. There was a point wherein we were open. People come to our community. Deliveries were coming, and I noticed that I don't fault the delivery guys, because again, we are in a new normal. So when they knock the door and hand you down the parcel, okay, so there's already a concern of physical distancing, you know what I mean? So I suggest that if that happens to you, one, you could like put a plastic in your metal screen door, just to avoid the droplets, because it's just a cloth. I notice it's a cloth mask, or reusable mask that they are using. So or could be that one of the members of your family is not wearing. Of course, we are not wearing our mask when we're inside our household. So at least in that area, both are protected, or just close the main door. And you are forced to use the back door, at least there's already physical, can implement the physical distancing in that manner. Or another option could be, You have to write the signage and state there that there is that table or chair allocated for all the deliveries. There's that area. You put a signage. All deliveries should be placed there, and then um, use your own ball pen when you sign. Okay, just let them put the that copy over there and just sign it. Use your own ball pen. Disinfect it after. So at least you can, incorporate that kind of protocol. This is just a personal take for me. Because the moment it's really a GCQ, it's a GCQ, you're in our area or your area is in the GCQ level, our mindset should always be an ECQ. Because I noticed that there are some people, when it's GCQ, they let their guards down. So please don't. No. What I'm saying is, if we have 15 steps, 15 shields in order for you not to get the virus, add 3 more. Meaning to say, because there are a lot of people going out already. So there are a lot of chances that the virus could spread, meaning you have at least added three shields or 3 steps in your protocol at home. So there are tendencies that I don't know, maybe some people like they you know they they what they follow protocols because there's the soldiers or our military men are out there and they're afraid, but at home they don't. So might as well again always incorporate and have household procedures at home that all the family members are aware of, like entrance, like for example, another is if there was a time that I was the one who buy groceries. So there's an entrance allocated, designated for those who are going out of the house, and that was me. So I usually enter the door, and that door is very strategic in a way because there are 2 wash areas. So I have no excuse not to wash my hands or not to wash, disinfect myself. And it's near in our bathroom area. So pwede ingon ana. So again, even if it is GCQ, my message here is have always an ECQ mindset, and even higher than that of ECQ. Okay? Do not let your guards down even if it's GCQ, because whether it's ECQ, MCQ, GCQ, the virus is still there and we don't see it. Okay? So now let's go with the M. M stands for monitor. So I always allocate time to check, because we have in our area, in our town, we're very happy with our mayor and the team who track cases. So I monitor it so that I could instruct the one who will do the grocery for us to buy in areas wherein there are less cases for protection. Okay, you know what I mean? So always monitor and keep track in those areas and avoid those areas as much as possible. Okay, there are a lot of naman supermarkets are open, of course, because it's just GCQ, even if it's ECQ, but I always instruct them, just go to that place wherein it's that mall or that supermarket with less cases. And if there are, usually it happens all the time. It's not like an always complete grocery, okay? So I always instruct, if it's not there and you cannot find there and I did not state the alternative, automatic out. Shorten your time of exposure. That's what I want you to do. So even if the risk was already transferred, at least which leads me to the E, which is empathy, that you have to really like feel for the other people. That's how I always make sure that for those who are doing groceries for us, that I monitor the area, I give them the specific time to for them to buy groceries. And then if it's not on the list, out. If I don't state there that options, out, automatic. Just remove yourself from there, pay it, and then we'll pay and drop the grocery at the gate. Just that. No more. Don't go and don't transfer. I'm not asking you to go to another mall or another supermarket. No. If you're there because I request you to be there and those are less cases, that's it. Okay? Now, which also leads me to, be very efficient. So, I make sure that the listings are complete, and these are again, E stands for only essentials for the week. Okay, for the week. And normally before, like, you could really just stay in the area, because my target again is really the element of time. Basically, it brings me down to that time element of this. The longer you stay in the area, the higher is the probability of you getting the virus. So now that even if I request other people to do grocery for us, so just buy those essentials that we need for the week. All right, so that's how we survive, and how I lead the household, and how I lead this guys that I request for groceries. So again, let me repeat. This is the acronym TIME. T stands for time. Remember that the longer you're outside, the higher the probability of you getting the virus. Okay? So always remember that it goes down to that, boils down to that. I incorporate the government mandated protocols in the household, and even you have to impose much stricter, house rules in order for you to, avoid getting the virus. M, monitor. Be vigilant at all times. I know it scares me sometimes, it scares you sometimes, it saddens me, but that's reality. That's the number, and it's very important in order for me to make decisions at home, and then the team, knocks in the team. The guys that I asked to buy grocery. And E is always practice empathy. I always remind them to wear protective, mask, face shield, and just drop it in the gate. Avoid talking to anyone. Just drop it. Okay, when you have the grocery, just drop it there. Just don't talk. Just text me. Okay. Anyway, you can leave it in the guard. Next is be efficient. Always be mindful of the time. So what is on the list as I give, yun lang. If you don't see it, it's not on the list, just remove yourself from the area. That's it. The shorter the time you're there, the better. And essentials, always just buy essentials at this point in time. Okay, I hope you learn something from me at this time, and I'd like to emphasize again that it all boils down to time. So the best really is to stay home. If it's not necessary for you to go outside, if you're not an essential person to report to the office, so just stay home. Okay, so in a matter of time, I know, and I have so much faith in the leaders that we have, that we will be able to, solve the problem that we are facing right now. And it's a lessons learned. Actually, it's just for me, and this is just my personal take. Dulak ko i-bash. It's just like implementing something new. It's not automatic for some people. That's number one. And if it's like a build, I call it, if I'm working, normally the 3 months period is always a hit and miss. So in a span of 6 months, I hope we'll be able to, be able to have a more structured way of addressing this. I know this is not that simple. So the the higher the number, the more scary the situation will become. But I have faith in our leaders, I have faith in our people, and I do understand that it will take some time for people to really adapt to this new normal. But I am hoping, normally, based on my observation, and it's just a in 6 months time, most likely, I hope people will really adjust to the situation. I know it's new and it's not easy, but I know there will be more guidelines, effective guidelines to address our concern right now. So I have faith in everybody, and we will do our job as well, our duty to abide to the government mandate, and at the same time help those who are in need, because we are different, we have different situation. So if we can help, we do our share, and we belong to the same community. So rest assured that, and I urge everybody to do their share as well. Okay, so I hope you learned something from Mommy Joanne at this time, and I'll see you in our next video. And thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, everyone, and God bless us all. Bye bye.